Welcome into the DNVR Rockies podcast brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, where you can use promo code DNVR to get $200 in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet this Sunday. That's code DNVR only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. I am Patrick Lyons.
I'm Susie Hunter. You know what? We had a game today, but most importantly, it was Tovar Day.
It was a good day. Could have been better if we saw him play, but I'm still vibing right now over the top Rockies infield prospect, getting promoted. We got to see the baby today. We'll talk about that.
The new baby. We will talk about the new baby.
We'll get to that today, but of course we'll start with Thursday's unfortunate loss to the San Francisco Giants. They lose 3-0. Mm-hmm. They did get 10 hits. Actually, only the second time in team history where they were held scoreless despite getting 10 or more hits at home. 2005 was the last and only other time that happened. So we still witness history, not the Tovar history.
We still got history. When you told me this when we were leaving the ballpark, I said the Rockies keep it fresh by giving us new ways to lose a game. So congratulations to the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, the loss on Thursday does mean they were swept at the hands of the Giants, the rather large hands of the Giants, because
Giants have big hands.
That's well known. We all know that.
The most giant got sent back down to AAA, so that's unfortunate.
Sean Jelly. That's it. Sean Jelly did. Charlie Blackmon even said they sent that guy down, I guess, because he was doing so well. So that did make sense. But yeah, unfortunately, with the 4-game sweep, that very much puts in jeopardy the hunt for 69.
Yeah. Because
I had the Rockies down for 2 wins in this series to get them to 70.
And that was too generous of you.
You do that math, that gives them 68. Not good. They've got to make up at least 1 game here. I already have them taking 2 out of 3 from the Padres. That could be hard now.
Yeah.
And I only have them at going 2-7 in the final 9 in California, so they could maybe make one up there, but that 1 win against the Dodgers may already be somewhat generous.
It's a little unlikely.
Yeah. And the Giants, they had just been swept at home. I think they had lost 9 of their last 13 coming into the series. Monday was the game where that really could have changed the dynamics of this entire series. What was so interesting about Thursday's game is the Giants went back to the well again, and I don't know if the Rockies have ever encountered this before. They had another bullpen day.
Yeah, they had 2 bullpen days this series, and is that a thing that they do a lot and I just haven't noticed? Or
well, Brebbia, this was his 8th time opening the game, and it was actually his 2nd time in the series. So he started on Tuesday as well. That is very much a rarity. In fact,
very strange.
In the Giants' very long history, I think it's only happened 8 other times, or by 8 other players. It's very rare, to say the least. It did happen last year with Dominic Leone for the Giants. That was also an opener situation. Mm-hmm. But previously, the last true starting pitcher to start twice in 3 days was in the 69 season by a man named Gaylord Perry. Hall of Famer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Susie, I want to know from you, so what are your thoughts on, and I don't know how you could even possibly regulate this, but from someone who watches the game that you do from a lot of different perspectives, and you do a good job at that.
Thank you.
Do you think bullpen days should be banned? Is this something that Major League Baseball should worry about? Should they do something about? What is your thought in watching a bullpen day where it seems like every inning somebody new comes out? There's no real starting pitcher to grab your attention and say, hey, it's this guy versus this guy. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I don't even know how you could possibly enforce banning a bullpen day. I guess, you need them every once in a while. Things happen. But if that's part of your regular routine, that's annoying. So seeing 2 of them, I was just like, okay, I'm bored.
Yeah.
2 in 1 series. I was quite bored. But I don't know. Yeah. How would you enforce that?
It's weird. Yeah, I don't know how you would. I mean, you typically almost have to have a certain number of turning the unwritten rules into something written of, your starting pitcher has to go at least 2 or 3 innings, or if you do take him out before, he's done with 2 innings, either has to be an injury or, has to be a certain stat line or a certain amount of runs, or again, it just has to, clear a certain protocol just so it's, again, those things happen where a guy just can't get out of the first inning or second or third, whatever it is. But if you're going out and you're starting a guy for the second time in 3 days and you're just throwing bodies out there, you know, you would think there would be, some advantage because some of those guys in that bullpen, Shelby Miller was in the Giants bullpen where that's a name. That's a blast from the past. And Rockies didn't have to face him, but nevertheless, Giants just picked up Jarrell Cotton, and then here he is throwing, two innings and change against the Rockies. So Jose Urena, though, he was really solid again, and he was not our DraftKings Sportsbook King of the Game, but certainly factored in on that a little bit. He did end up giving up 2 runs on 7 hits. Wasn't able to get the full quality start there as he was removed for Justin Lawrence there in the 6th. Walked 1. Struck out 6, gave up the run in the first, struck out 3 in a row at one point, did a lot of gangly running at different points.
I like the motion that you're
nearly
doing right
collided
now.
with Ryan McMahon for what's felt like the 7th time this year. This time McMahon was at second base, and they almost collided
He's
on a ball.
always bumping into people.
Yeah, but
does he not have good peripheral vision with those cheekbones of his?
He's
got good cheekbones.
Could be. He's got long hair. I have that peripheral issue. If my hair gets down in my face, even with a hat on, he could be suffering from that too.
Wow, you guys go through so much. I'm so sorry.
His running style, I wouldn't say he's like a sprinter or a long distance runner. He's akimbo. That's his style because arms and legs are just flailing about akimbo, and that would be his running style. But he was really solid today.
He was solid. And I feel like we hear Buddy say this all the time after a game, but whenever a guy doesn't give up that many hits but still loses, he's like, well, guys pitch just like this and win games here. It all just depends on what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, only one other guy has ever pitched, you'd have to think, somewhat that well and just didn't get the run support, right?
Yeah.
Again, only the second time, no runs, 10 hits. Over his last 5 starts, he has a sub-4 ERA, which has been pretty solid. Against the NL West this year, 4.56 ERA. So for a guy they really just picked up off the scrap heap, he's provided a lot of really solid innings for them. Say what you will. Maybe there's some younger guys in the minors you want to see. Or we're still waiting to see Noah Davis.
Poor guy. I think he was warming up a couple of times. Still has not taken the mound.
Wednesday night he was warming up. Noah Davis. We're like Noah debut. We're waiting. Come on, give him an opportunity. Hasn't received a lot of run support. 21 runs of support across his 15 starts with the Rockies. Received 1 or fewer runs in 10 of those starts. So, hey, that's just one of those things that happens, unfortunately. But Jose Urena, he's been really solid. He's kind of almost picked up where Chad Kuhl left off during the first half of the season, which is a little bit of a surprise, I would say.
I'm quite surprised by that too, for sure.
But let's tip our cap to the DraftKings Sportsbook King of the Game, first baseman, rookie, former yard goat, former isotope, Michael Toglia.
Michael Toglia, 2 for 4, unassisted double play. He's our king of the game. It was a pretty quiet game, to be fair, but we had a lot of rookies out there today too. Was it 5 rookies out there today?
Great point. 5 rookies at the bottom of the lineup, batting 5th through 9th. Of course, a lot of bullpens out there. A lot of relievers out in the bullpen. I told you, if I have a slip of the tongue and I misspeak, I'm a little sleep deprived right now. I asked Buddy the other night about a home run that didn't even exist.
Wait, that was actually so funny too, because he brought it up the next day and was just like, what the heck are you talking about?
Yeah, we brought it up again today, but I saved myself because of something we'll get to in our next segment about Ezequiel Tovar, a wonderful fun fact. So I think I'm back to 500. I think I might get put back in the lineup by Buddy here.
I got DFA'd.
You did.
I did, and that's very unfortunate.
But you know what? We'd still love to have you down in AAA. So we don't want to totally part ways with you. We want to keep you in the system. We just think we can sneak you through there on waivers. But yeah, we saw Justin Lawrence come in.
Yeah.
Chad Smith. So, I mean, ultimately you had 6 of the 10 guys in the lineup, if you include the pitcher with the DH, out there as rookies. There are currently 12 now with Tovar. We'll get to him. Ezequiel Tovar getting activated, promoted to the big league roster. 12 of the 28 guys on the roster are rookies. We've seen 9 debuts, 8 debuts. It's hard to keep track now. I think 8 debuts. Tovar or Davis will be 9 and 10. So we're definitely approaching franchise history with all of these young guys, making their debut and being out there on the field.
What is the record?
The other night I was told by someone that were 12 debuts, like rookie, like not. So this is another part of the debate. A square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square.
Well said. Thank you.
You can debut and be a rookie, but if you're a rookie, it doesn't mean you had your debut.
That's
in that year. Like Trejo, he's a rookie. He debuted last year. Justin Lawrence, he's a rookie. He debuted last year. So not every rookie had, their debut. So while there might be 12 rookies on the roster right now, that doesn't mean there were 12 debuts. You also have a guy like Wynton Bernard, who made his debut and is a rookie, but isn't currently on the active roster. So we'll have a whole PowerPoint presentation kind of connecting all the dots for you to figure out who is what and where and if they've debuted. But we're definitely approaching that too. Davis, Tovar, we'll kind of kick that up, and those will probably be the last two. As Riley Pint, he's still, I think he's been shut down from what I've heard. He did have a little bit of an injury that sidelined him. Maybe he would have debuted, but it seems like he would have been shut down. Now the offense, man, it was really disappointing. I think they hit into 4 double plays today. Felt like there was a lot more than that. They had doubles to lead off the inning in back-to-back frames with Servin in the 6th, Charlie Blackmon in the 7th, and then, Blackmon, he was going on the pitch, so you had a double play on a fly ball out. But Servin's on second base, and you got 3 fly ball outs. Could not manufacture a run whatsoever. That was obviously disappointing. And then the 2nd, 4th, and 8th, you had a leadoff hit. Nothing came of it. So that was super disappointing. Almost similar in a way to what happened on Wednesday night, another loss, 6-1. But the Rockies were able to avoid the shutout. Big home run by L.A. Harris. Montero, it was good to see him hit his 6th home run.
Yeah, that sounds right. But I can't trust you.
6th-ish. Yeah, exactly.
We're in that ballpark.
I'm not off by 5. I'll say that. I am in the ballpark when it comes to him hitting out of the ballpark. And also on Wednesday's game, we really lucked out. Think about it. When we came to the ballpark on Wednesday, again, when there's rain in the forecast and you're looking ahead to the next day and you're like, oh man, we might not get this game in on Wednesday. We might have 2 games on Thursday. We might not get those in.
I was stressed.
You will take a 1-hour rain delay. And that's what we got on Wednesday.
1 hour,
we were okay.
5 minutes. And
we were okay.
Yeah, we were okay. It's a rough, disappointing game. We almost got no hit.
Yeah.
Thank God Sean Bouchard broke up the no-hitter.
He did.
The 6th inning?
In the 6th inning?
Yeah.
Yep, that was nice.
That was a long time. I was getting concerned, actually.
Yeah, Webb didn't end up staying in the game much longer than that. He had, in fact, he was done that inning, so he didn't even get a quality start. And he had himself a no-hitter going there. He was lights out. I think he only threw 65 pitches, so he was really dominant. I'm not sure why they scaled back on him. That was half of a bullpen day if you want to count it. Yeah, Bouchard felt pretty good. I talked to him before the game today. And he was like, yeah, we talk about it, just putting those good at-bats together. And that's the thing, is that the result isn't necessarily indicative of a performance, because a hit just means, you hit them where where they ain't, right? Like Wheeler Keeler says, hit them where they ain't. That's it. You can hit a ball, 105 miles an hour. You can get yourself a barrel, and it just lands in the mitt. You did your job, but it didn't produce a hit. That's one of the unfortunate things. So nice job by Bouchard there. Defense was really bad. They had errors in 4 straight games, going back to that Sunday game in Chicago, which they did win. They didn't make an error, I believe, on today. No, I thought Trejo did make an error.
No, we didn't have any errors today.
Okay, I think maybe Trejo wasn't able to get a double play going there. I know Hampson had an issue at one point there, but yeah, no error on Thursday. And we had an error, another one of those errors. It happened to Ryan McMahon earlier this year.
I was hoping it was a once in a lifetime error.
Unfair error. That was less than a month ago, I think.
It was not that long ago. So a ball went through CJ Cron's glove.
Just
right through it. Well, you know why? Because Mercury's in retrograde.
Obviously.
We
were all
this
thinking
is textbook Mercury stuff.
We were thinking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a double play there. That probably would have taken 2 runs off the board from Marquez, who was fine. He sounded okay after the game because he knows that, hey, my stuff was working. I was doing well. Did give up 3 earned runs, 4 overall, but 3 were earned in 5 innings pitched, and had a great line, a Yogi line, a Casey Stengel-esque line where he said, in talking about the errors the 2 on the night on Wednesday, 2 botched double plays by Trejo and Hampson. He said, I don't believe in bad luck, or I don't believe in luck, but I had bad luck. And that was true.
I liked that he said that.
That was so
funny.
true of what happened. Crone had another hand injury, if you will. Same hand. It was his mitt. Ball went through it, and then later on did get hit by a pitch. But Black said, the Rockies ultimately dodged a bullet there. X-rays were negative, so he's kind of day-to-day. We'll wait and see what happened. Totally was over at first base today. And we hope he can come back because he's sitting at 29 home runs now. He has got the 101 RBI. You want him to get to 30 so he can match what Nolan Arenado was able to do in 2019. Currently right now, only 4 players in all of baseball have 29 homers and 100 RBI. 2 of them are battling for the Triple Crown in each respective league, Aaron Judge and Paul Goldschmidt. Don't forget Pete Alonso as well. And I think Kyle Tucker is now on that list. I think he's gotten his name on that as well. So we hope Crone can come back so that he can definitely be a part of that 3,100 club that has really evaded the Rockies in the last couple seasons.
For sure, yeah. I think he's going to get it done.
Yeah.
I think he's got it in him.
I mean, just that one swing.
Just
that's
one
all
swing.
it takes. And he's going to be in LA at Dodger Stadium, as are you.
As am I, yes.
As are you. I don't know
That
if we've
is
gotten around to that
correct.
entirely.
Yeah, we have not talked about it yet at all.
But you can have a Kirk Gibson type swing. I mean, you'd rather have no legs and a strong wrist to be able to hit that home run. But if anyone can hit a home run with a bad hand, I think it could be him. And if anyone can throw a tailgate, it's DNVR. You got to get your tickets over at the DNVR bar. You can get your tickets online, actually, at dnvrlocker.com if you're a member. Only 50 cents for that first month. If you want an annual membership, you get a free shirt from dnvrlocker.com. But you get price breaks on the tailgates when we do party buses. Of course, you can do that. Access to our members-only Discord. So when we have a wonderful gathering like we did on Tuesday night, for $1 thanks to Game Time.
Yes.
We'll let you know about it in the members-only Discord. It was great to see so many of our members out there for that. And you also get 15% off here at the bar when you come and hang out when you're a member. So you can't beat that. We're the goats of tailgating, but the goats of television, Evoca TV.
Yes, there we go.
evoca.tv/Colorado10. That's where you want to go so that you can get $10 off a package that's going to hook you up with all of Denver sports. You're going to get Altitude Sports, AT&T Sportsnet. So, of course, you're getting our guy Drew Goodman and the Rockies. You also get the DNVR Sports Channel. NFL Network is there. Crystal Clear HD, all while using less bandwidth. 60 entertainment channels. It's the ultimate game viewing zone. You can also get a discounted Sling TV bundle on top of that. And maybe the best feature, in my opinion, because again, it's good that you can have the channels. It's like a reservation. You're going to take the reservation, but can you keep it? Can you actually use it? Well, look, if you've got all these channels, but you can only watch it at home, that only serves so much of a purpose. You can use evoca.tv/Colorado10 from your phone, your laptop, your tablet. You can't beat that. It's only $25 a month plus a $5 receiver right now. And again, you're going to get $10 off per month for your first 3 months to score the deal at evoca.tv/Colorado10. No contracts, no catches. Evoca is TV made for champions of the remote click.
That's what a clicker. People call them that.
They do.
Do you know people who call them that? I feel like my grandparents called it that.
I barely know people who even have clickers anymore.
Clicker.
I barely know people, let alone. But I know the people down at Breckenridge Brewery, and they are bringing some wonderful people right into their own confines. In fact, we've got a cool event going on Friday. We want to invite everybody down to, I think it starts at 3 o'clock at the farmhouse.
Definitely
in
an
Littleton.
event you want to go to.
And we're just going to leave it at that?
And we're going to leave it at that. But
you want to be there.
To be there.
No, but like you want to be there.
There's something special happening.
You want to be there.
We can't tell you what, but it's pretty big.
And you want to be there.
And you want to be there.
You want to be there.
You want to be there.
All right. They also go over to breckbrew.com to find a beer locator there where you can get your Broncos Country Pale Ale. It's their time now. Avalanche, they had their time with the Avalanche Ale. I don't know. Maybe they'll still have a time. You want to be there. You just want to be there. But check it out. It's the hometown craft beer of the Denver Broncos of Denver. It's the Broncos Country Pale Ale. Show off that colorful Colorado legacy with the Orange Crush logo and 100% Colorado ingredients. Your go-to all for football season. That's what we got at the tailgate, too.
Yo, we have the best tailgates.
We do. It's popping off. Mile High Sliders. We can't say enough about that. I can't say enough about Ezequiel Tovar.
Yes.
It is time.
Gosh.
It is time.
I didn't know that we would get it this season, and we have it after just 5 games at AAA. Tovar has arrived in Colorado.
He did it.
And it was such an exciting morning.
Last night was just before the game. That was when the buzz started. Susie, you activated your, the thing you do, checking every airline. I think you got the passenger tickets. Yeah, you've got your sources to go in, find out when he's going to arrive, this, that, and the other. He actually arrived this morning from a flight from Houston. Ice Topes were down in Sugar Land, just outside of Houston, the Astros AAA affiliate there. I'm not really sure to begin. I think we should almost tell his life story in many ways for anyone who doesn't know and isn't already hyped for the top infield prospect for the Colorado Rockies. Colorado still has a way to go before we are looking at them and thinking about them and talking about them as a postseason contender. But this is one of those dominoes that you line up and say, well, he's going to be here for 6 more years.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to be a free agent until after the 2028 season. 2028 season.
Goosebumps.
That's
right
a long
now.
time.
That is
You
a
got
long
your
time.
Tolia. You got your Montero. We know Zach Veen is coming. Benny Montgomery, who has the highest ceiling of all of those guys. Maybe the lowest floor. But Drew Romo, so many young pitchers. And, frankly, once some of these veteran guys end up leaving, there's going to be some money on the books. Not a ton, because we know they locked up Senzatella, Freeland, Chris Bryant.
Chris Bryant, we have
still
him for
money.
the next 50 years, right?
There's still money
Something like that.
to be spent.
Yes.
But it helps when you got these young guys not making a ton. So this is the start of the next generation of postseason Rockies.
Yes.
Ezequiel Tovar will be going to the postseason with the Colorado Rockies. And I don't think it's going to be in that 2028 year. I think it'll be a little bit before that. So he signs out of Venezuela at 16 years old. And hearing
So
Bill
young.
Schmidt talk about it, like, it kind of puts it in perspective, what it's like when you're an international player getting signed at 16 years old.
Yeah. It was. He also mentioned that it was like, going to the local middle school and looking for the best player at the local middle school. But yeah, he mentioned that they've had their eye on him since he was like 12, before he was a teenager even. Crazy.
Yeah, and that might sound weird to some, but like, that is the practice, because they can be signed by 16. So you don't want to show up on their doorstep when they're 15 and a half years old and say, hey, so we're really interested in you. You lay the groundwork, and Rolando Fernandez does a wonderful job there for the Rockies international scouting department. Sign him at 16. And then one of my favorite wrinkles to all of this is plays in the Dominican Summer League, does a really nice job. And at 17 years old in 2019, they say, let's go ahead and let's bring you over here to the States. And 17 is actually, pretty young. There's a lot of guys will come over at 19, 20, 21.
Yeah.
19 is still on the younger side. You look at all the guys that are in low A Fresno this year. Yanquiel Fernandez, Ariel Amador, 19 years old.
So young.
He came over at 17. And the lowest rung on the Rockies affiliates at that time was Grand Junction, the Grand Junction Rockies. And he couldn't play there because he was only 17 years old. Colorado labor law said he can't play there at 17. So they actually put him just a one level higher in Boise. And then once he turned 18 in August, they sent him to Grand Junction, but he played well there at Boise in the Northwest League. So that's just one of those funny wrinkles in his legendary story. Overall, 2021, after the pandemic season, he puts on a little bit more muscle. He really jumps on the scene. And again, last season, folks, he started in low A Fresno. So all of those guys that won a championship this year, or rather at least had the best record overall in the California League, you can start hoping that maybe, just maybe, you could see them this time late next year. I mean, that's almost all of their top prospects.
Yeah.
You go, they could all be here at some form or fashion. It's going to happen that quickly. It's not going to seem this quickly. In a year from now, we're going to go, that was a difficult season. But we're still on the upswing. It's going to be 2-3 more years until we get all the way onto the top of that peak.
Yes.
But I think it's starting, no?
It's definitely starting. We are climbing up the mountain. Climbing up the mountain.
Absolutely.
It's crazy how fast he's moved up, though.
Yeah. Yeah, he does really well in Fresno, goes up to Spokane, has a little bit of difficulty, plays in the Arizona Fall League. Got to see him play last year. Spoke with him just a little bit. Good friends with Michael Tolia.
Yeah,
we saw
buddies.
them. Yep.
I loved seeing Tovar walk in because we were all just like in the clubhouse waiting. We're like, okay, where is he? We haven't seen him yet. And then he arrives and he gets all the hugs. And of course, I think Tolia was the first person to just,
Yep.
oh, no, wait. Jose Iglesias was.
He's always the first one to get
He's
a hug.
always
but,
the
I mean,
first one to hug everyone.
But they weren't even teammates technically before, so we're not going to count that one.
Yes.
You're
but
right.
of course, Tolia and Tovar, they have kind of been on similar timelines the past couple of seasons, so they're good friends.
Oh, yeah.
It was nice to see them hug each other, and I'm like, okay, he's here.
They're good
He's
buddies.
here. Let's go.
Tolia, Tovar, they are buddies. They are loyal to one each other. So it really, really disproves the theory. These toes are loyal.
These
Tovar
toes-
and,
oh
and
my
Tolia.
gosh.
These toes are loyal. So he, struggles a little bit in Arizona Fall League, but shows what he can do. Again, he is a premier defensive shortstop. That's his big calling card. The bat is the thing that needs to develop. It's still developing. It's still improving, and it's getting good. It's getting there. That won't be there yet. The defense will be there in spring training. He's ultimately their best player. Hits 550, 2 doubles, 3 homers, and is awarded the team MVP for spring training. It's the Abby Greer Award. And again, he didn't face all big leaguers during that time. Some AA, some AAA guys, but overall, he really impressed Bud Black and the coaches at spring training.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they haven't been able to say enough about him. But yeah.
They're holding back. Because you don't want to not set him up for failure, but you don't want to go, yep, nope, Troy Tulowitzki and Trevor Story. Well, Ezequiel Tovar is going to be just as good. You're almost going to jinx him if you do something like that. So you definitely don't want to do that. He starts this year at AA with the Yard Goats. And I mean, you talked with Jeff Dooley about it.
Yes.
It's one of the reasons why you got to be subscribing to the DNVR Rockies podcast or watching us on our YouTube channel, DNVR Sports. You can actually go back and listen to those interviews. Anytime Jeff Dooley's on,
yes.
Susie's there talking with him, getting the lowdown. He led the Eastern League in so many of the great offensive categories. Not bad for ultimately a pitcher's league, a pitcher-heavy league. He was really solid, 318. 13 homers. I think he stole 17 bases, 47 RBI in 66 games. Absolutely fantastic until you hold your breath and you go, not an injury.
Yes, and then that's, of course, what we saw. But he's in good company with the type of injury that he had. He had that groin injury that even I learned a little bit about when we were talking to Bill Schmidt.
Yeah.
And he told us that he learned a lot about it this year, too. That muscle that, I guess, connects
It's like a pelvic
the
impingement
leg.
or something.
Yeah.
I don't know the proper name. They just call it a groin injury, but it's a pelvic thing. I don't necessarily know if it's a tendon or a muscle. We haven't got a chance to catch up with Keith Duggar there to find out the specifics of what that is. But it's one where you either need surgery, like Troy Tulowitzki needed, or
if it gets too bad.
If it gets too bad, right? If it tears, that wasn't the case, thankfully. That's why we're able to see Tovar. But this afflicted Nolan, Story, Brendan Rodgers had that, Colton Welker even. So that's been one of those things. And as you said, he was great for 5 games there in AAA, hit .333, had his first AAA home run. And similar to Michael Tolia, a short stay at Albuquerque, boom, you're up at the show.
This was an exceptionally short stay. I mean, at least Tolia got a few weeks. Tovar was there for 5 days. That's so
true.
Crazy.
It's true. Yeah, and when he debuts, like to give you an idea how young this guy is, when he debuts tomorrow, Friday, you got to think, right?
It better be.
What are we waiting for?
It better be Friday. What are we waiting for?
What the frick are we waiting for here? He will be the youngest position player in franchise history. Let that sink in. The 30-year history of the Colorado Rockies. Guys who put their mitt on, go out to the field, pick up a bat to step in the batter's box. Nobody will be younger than Ezequiel Tovar. The record was previously Roberto Mejia, also 21 years old, 92 days. Rafael Ortega was a young guy. And again, you're like, I don't really know those names. That's okay. Yeah, they didn't have big, long careers. Tovar will... Look, I'm not talking out of school and being too much of a hype train here to say that he will easily have a better career than Rafael Ortega and Roberto Mejia.
I'm gonna knock on wood on that one.
I'm good. I'm super confident. Roberto Mejia, he played for 3 years, part of the original club there in 1993. So that was as an expansion club. Not the youngest player. It would be the third youngest overall. He had 2 pitchers who were younger. Marcos Carvajal was at 20 years old. Rest in peace, unfortunately. And Miguel Castro, who's still playing in the league and is still like super young. Maybe he's 28. He came over in the Troy Tulowitzki deal, but he's super, super young. So young that when he got his call up, he was doing something that, I think young 21-year-old people do a lot.
He was shopping with his wife.
Well, when you throw the wife part in, that totally makes me sound like a boob. He was shopping.
For his nephews.
Even then, I do a lot of 21-year-old people have nephews.
I don't know where you're going with this then.
Well, it was just the shopping. I think 21-year-olds be shopping.
He was out at the store. Also, before this, I did not even realize that he had a wife. He's been married for about 8 months. Yeah, I think a lot of us were surprised. Like, oh my gosh, but he's so young.
I think he's... Yeah. I forget what he said, if he was been with his wife for 5 years.
7 years.
It was 7.
I think it was 7 years. I'm sure it was 5 or 7. A long time. So they've known each other for a very long time. They got married 8 months ago.
That's awesome.
She's up here. She was here. It sounds like she was at the game today.
Yeah. And we also learned that Tovar was at some other games this year.
Yeah, we had no idea that Tovar was in the ballpark with us. So he was up in Colorado during for a couple of weeks during his rehab and watched a couple of games at Coors Field. And this was news to all of us.
Like, what? All right, where were you sitting?
You were here?
What was going on?
This recent injury? We just could not wrap our heads around it.
Yeah, but even still, when we talked to him, he had taken a couple ground balls out on the field and his eyes popped and was like, yeah, this place is pretty big.
It's a big field.
It's pretty big.
It is a big field.
I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be ready for the moment. Buddy even said, he talked a lot this season and always about having that slower heartbeat, right? Just being calm, being confident, but he also has an intensity about him, he said. So, they're pumping the brakes on trying to be overly praiseworthy, but if you're listening, they're trying to be calm, but you can hear the words. Like you don't use certain words to describe a guy that, like, hey, he did his job down in AAA. He deserves this opportunity. We'll see what happens. There's more intense and more impactful words to describe his poise and his potential and all of those things that he projects to be, because he's 21. Looks like a 21-year-old.
He does.
He looks like he's 21.
He really does. He's like tall and he's kind of lanky and he's got a trendy haircut.
He does. He's got the Francisco Lindor haircut, which was one of his favorite guys of recent vintage. Did say that Jeter and Omar Vizquel, his nation mate. No, what's the word I'm looking for? They're both from Venezuela.
His fellow countrymen.
Countrymen. That would be the word. Is that
the word you were looking for?
Yeah, that was the word. Not nation mate. Again, I'm sleep deprived.
I mean, you made your point. I got what you were saying. We're following you, Patrick. We're here. We get you.
I just got Coors Fielded by saying maybe I've got Rocky Mountain fever. That's why I went with Nation Mate on that. But you will not have Rocky Mountain fever. The cure for that, I think, is going to be Pins and Aces, the official golf partner.
Yes.
And golf partner. Maybe official frolf partner. Kale, can you back that up? You're our resident frolfer. Are Pins and Aces also frolf friendly?
Pins and Aces are everywhere friendly, so I would assume you can froth in them as well.
I love that. I'm so glad that you can froth in them. We love our Pins and Aces gear. Tons of compliments. Our guy Spence, of course, he rocks it nonstop.
Yeah.
When we were up at the rooftop, I almost fibbed and said a few people went up. I only saw 2. It wasn't like there was a crowd of people asking where he got his shirt and hat from. But there were 2. I did see 2.
Yeah.
It's a family-owned golf and apparel company right here in Colorado. They make amazing polos, hats, golf bags, even a really cool beer sleeve. So you load it up with your Breck Brew, Broncos Country beer, Avalanche Ale, whatever it is. It's an innovative product that allows you to store 7 beers right inside your golf bag. Keep drinks the entire round. Keeps them cold. Check out Pins and Aces and use the code DNVR to receive 15% off your first order and get that free shipping. That's pinsandaces.com. And I always ace the start of my day, as do you, Susie.
Oh, you know it.
Athletic Greens. Go to athleticgreens.com/ROC. First 3 letters of Rockies, right? athleticgreens/ROC to get a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D, 5 free travel packs. And how is it going to change their life? Or how is it going to at least improve their life?
You know what? It's such a great way to just kick off the day instead of, first thing drinking a big old cup of coffee, getting that big caffeine rush. You are going to get hydrated. You're going to get nutrients. You're going to get good stuff for your gut health. It just sets you up for success with a solid foundation. That's what I love about it.
I have a confession to make. I did something that I've never done before.
Uh-oh.
And I think Athletic Greens is going to be upset for me saying this. Like, oh, you can't say that. But I'm going to say it.
I'm so curious to.
I had 2 packs of my travel pack of Athletic Greens this morning. Because I'm sleep deprived.
You doubled up.
And I doubled because I'm like, well, I don't want to have too much caffeine today. Mm-hmm. So I had my one in the morning. I waited an hour, had another one. And it kind of allowed me to postpone my cup of coffee even more so than that.
It's actually fantastic news.
So, yeah, again, I don't get a buzz. It doesn't give me like that same caffeine, rip right away. But it just allowed me to start my day a little bit better because, my body didn't want to get up. It's
no.
But it was Tovar day, so I had to get up.
Had to. We all had to drag our butts to the ballpark early.
That's it.
Because we had to see him. And then when he wasn't there when we got there, it was just like,
okay.
Oh, no. But then he got there. It was fine.
It's a good problem. It's a good problem to have. Just like, hey, I got a good problem because I got my cabinet. I pre-order like crazy on my Athletic Greens. It's a good thing that my cabinet's stuffed. You can get yours stuffed as well at athleticgreens.com/ROC. The first 3 letters of Rockies. Susie, I'm curious. Do you know who owns the Giants?
Who owns the Giants?
Clearly not the Rockies after the 4-game sweep.
The Rockies do not. Maybe Charlie Blackmon sometimes owns the Giants. Maybe he's a part owner. He's got 175 career hits. That's the most among active players.
Yeah. He did a double today, too.
Yeah.
Okay, that was one of the double plays. So let's bump him up to 176. But yeah, I don't know if he owns the Rockies per se. I think in a way he does. If he had scored that run too, maybe that was one of the reasons why he was going on that pitch. He wanted to make sure he scored on a single. That would have given him 100 career runs scored against the Giants. Only the second Rockies player of all time behind, of course, Todd Helton. But truly, someone who does own the Rockies now, owns the Giants. I'm catching it before you. Are you sleep deprived too?
Yes.
No. Okay. Here's who also owns the Giants. Literally, Buster Posey. Gerald Dempsey Posey, it was announced on Wednesday, becomes one of the official primary partnership owners. I don't think he owns 51%, but the primary ownership group. They welcomed him in. Is now the first former player of theirs to own the team.
Gerald, that's good for him.
GD Posey. That's it. Buster GD Posey.
I'd go buy something else too if my name was Gerald.
I think so. Now he's owner Posey. That's it. That's kind of strange. It does make you think like, all right, well, who's gonna? I'm actually a little bit surprised Todd Helton has never been. I'm not going to say welcomed in because it's also a matter of maybe Todd Helton picked up the phone saying, hey, I actually want to own part of the Rockies. Maybe he doesn't want to.
Why doesn't
he? Might not.
I couldn't imagine why.
He enjoys staying in Tennessee, man. I think that's just his bag. So that hasn't come to fruition. Charlie, I could see maybe wanting to get in on that side of the business. We know he's a businessman at the heart of things. So maybe Charlie is that first guy that does that. We know Cargo is a partial owner, is a part of the ownership group of the Northern Colorado Owls. So he does own part of a Colorado professional team that plays baseball here. But we'll wait and see if something like that does happen. I know personally, I do not want to wait anymore to play the game that you've got in store for us.
Yeah,
I love our games.
We're going to talk about Tovar again. So I think you're going to enjoy this one. So we've been talking about how young Ezequiel Tovar is. So this game is called, is this thing older or younger than Ezequiel Tovar?
Oh, can I? Wow, I like this.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pencil sharpener, but no, okay. We got an iPhone.
No. If you're watching us on YouTube, you will see we've got an iPhone, which is younger than Ezequiel Tovar, and an iMac computer, which is older than Ezequiel Tovar.
Yes, I remember that being in Zoolander. Can I say one of the other interesting fun facts that I put out there on Twitter?
Yes.
I mean, this could help people. Maybe.
No, you can't, Patrick.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
All right. Well, I don't want to skew the game at all for anyone playing at home. With this other fact,
just go.
We're on the same page.
The more, the merrier.
Well, and of course, everyone had the exact same response of, "Well, now we feel old." Ezequiel Tovar, First player, and Kel's going to feel old now. First player in Rockies history to be born after the year 2000.
That makes me feel old.
We did it! We did it!
Thanks. I hate it.
Yes. Wouldn't know what that's like to have a player who's younger than me. So someday that'll happen. You know, my luck will run out, and I'll say like, "Oh my gosh, look at this kid!" But until then, they are all my superiors.
Yes.
Age-wise, if we're gonna run with that bit. So all right, that kind of gives us an idea.
Yeah.
Right? 2000, 2001-ish. Maybe he was born.
I mean, I'll just give you his birthday. I think you're still going to struggle with this game. But he was
Ooh, okay, bring
born
it.
August 1st,
Yeah.
2001.
Nope.
So he's also the first Rockies player born after George W. Bush was elected.
Yes. Just barely before 9/11.
Yes,
Of course.
correct. That is
All right.
not one of the things on this
I
game.
would hope there was not a graphic made of that.
It's
All
not.
right,
It
so
is not.
older. What is it? Older or younger?
All right, so we're going to show you things, and you're going to tell me if that thing is older or younger than Ezequiel Tovar.
Look at
Are
me.
you ready?
I'm closing up my laptop
So you can't
no one
cheat.
thinks I'm cheating. And again, one of the reasons why you got to be over on the DNVR Sports channel on the YouTube.
All
Let's
right,
bring it.
Kale, let's see the first one. The first Harry Potter movie.
That's hard.
Patrick, is that older or younger than Ezequiel Tovar?
Okay, I can remember seeing my first Harry Potter book in 1999. They were already a couple books in at that point. So, damn, this is super close. I am actually going to say after. Again, all of these are probably going to be super close,
you're
right?
saying younger. Are you saying this is younger than Ezequiel Tovar?
No, I'm saying is older. No, I don't know what those words mean. Yes, Harry Potter, the movie, is younger. In fact, all of them are
Yes.
younger than Ezequiel Tovar.
That
It
was
came out
really-
after he was born.
That was a really good guess. It came out only a couple of months after he was born,
Let's
but
go.
you are correct.
Let's go.
Younger.
iPhone. Okay, this
Kale-
game's great.
Also, yeah, Kale did a great job with these graphics. I hope you had fun making these.
Now I feel bad because we made him feel old and he's crushing it at his job.
Well, you know, if we're going to feel old, Kale is going to feel old with us. But with that age comes the experience to make kick-ass graphics.
Now I know what he's going to be doing on his day off tomorrow. I think he's trying to get some life insurance and trying to prepare for retirement, you know, because he's an old bastard now.
All right, Patrick, the Salt Lake City Olympics. Did this happen after Tovar was born or before?
Well, the graphics kind of just skewed it. I wasn't sure.
That's on me. That's on me, everybody. Whoops.
Kale botched it. Never mind, I take it back. You did a terrible job with these.
Yeah, it's younger.
Younger, correct. So the Salt Lake City Olympics, February 2002.
I think I would have said younger only because I would have guessed it.
I can't believe I put a picture that had 2002 on it. I'm so sorry.
I swear, if the next picture has like a timestamp on it, I'm gonna leave the show.
Well, I should take my glasses off so I don't have the visuals to help me out.
No,
Be like, wait, whose body? Like when we play Say What? Like, oh, that's clearly Dinger's body. And you're like, oh no, it's actually fill in the blank with someone who has a Dinger's body. All right. Yeah, that
All
was
right,
younger. So that
all
would have been
right.
like in February of 2022.
listen, we got plenty more. How about the first episode of American Idol?
Woof.
Younger or older than Ezequiel Tovar?
I also have a typo on this one, so my apologies for
American
just botching
Idol.
these
So-
graphics.
Yeah, Kale, we're all sleep deprived.
This is also a teaser. Well, this is a new show from our guy D-Line. It's called American Idol, where people make up graphics and he will rate them. And so I'm gonna give it. This is pretty good. All right, so I'm going from Justin on the right to Kelly on the left. Yeah, I went there. I am actually going to say. I do remember this. I'm going to say it's older. I'm going to say it's older.
You're incorrect.
Whoa.
It's younger. Now this is where it
By like
gets
a minute?
trippy. No, the first episode of American Idol was June 11th, 2002.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
All right. Yeah,
How
you got
about-
me on that for sure.
How about let's take it back to the Boy Meets World season finale. Did this happen before or after Tovar was born?
All right.
Older or younger?
Okay, we see Ben Savage and the actor who plays Mr. Feeney.
Who is just known as Mr. Feeney.
Yeah, we don't need to say what his
doesn't
name
have
is. He
another
gets
name.
enough great publicity. We all know what it is. It's Mr. Feeney. Now, I'm going to say I tapped out on Boy Meets World for a while, but I watched the first couple seasons when they had the apartment and everything. It just felt like Saved by the Bell, college years kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So I was
Interesting.
like,
They
all
lost
right,
you there.
They're bringing in one of the Lawrence brothers. I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to see what happens next. I'm going to say, I feel really confident. I'm going to say that this is actually also younger because I feel like Boy Meets World came out circa 98-ish, had a good probably 4-5 season run. I feel I'm going to double down and say it's younger.
It's older.
What?
May 5th, 2000 was the last episode of Boy Meets World.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I'm in
Yeah.
the negative now. Dang. It is older. Okay.
See, I
how
told
many,
you
how many
this was gonna
seasons
be
did that show
tricky.
last? It was like 4 or 5?
I think
it
it
felt
was-
like forever, but
It might have been more. Boy Meets World. I'm going to look it up real fast. Boy Meets World had...
Big Van Vader was on an episode, I believe.
that. Boy Meets World started in 93.
Oh. Wow. All right. So I was
7
off.
seasons. It's actually 7 seasons, 158 episodes. Boy Meets World, started in 93. September 24th, 93.
Yeah.
Anniversary's coming up.
Yeah. One of the smaller bullies ended up, I think he was like the bassist for Rilo Kiley. Jenna Lewis's band. Yeah.
I didn't
listen
know
to a lot
that.
of independent music and make references.
I
I'm
like
sure a lot
Rilo
of people.
Kiley.
Rilo Kiley.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's very rare that I like someone who's not Taylor Swift.
Yeah. But yeah, he was on that show. Damn, I feel bad. Can I redeem myself? Please tell me there's one more.
We've actually have many more.
Please tell me there's many more. All right, let's go.
Many more.
This might have to be a speed
how
round.
about Dora the Explorer? That's a show that's been around for a while.
Woof.
But is it older than Ezequiel Tovar or younger?
Yes, I'm going older.
You are correct. Thank goodness. I was getting concerned. First episode, August 14th, the year 2000.
Ooh, wow, all right.
All right. Another cartoon. How about SpongeBob SquarePants?
Wow. That does feel like that show has been around for they still don't make new episodes of that, do they?
They do.
I think they do.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes me very happy. It does make sense because I do see a lot of content of like the voiceover actors and like doing stuff like that, and it's surprising how many you go like I actually know them from other things. They're not just strictly voiceover actors. It's Dauber from Coach, aka that's the voice of Patrick, is the dad from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Jason Segel's dad.
Yeah.
That's the voice of Patrick from SpongeBob.
There we go.
Tom Kenny does SpongeBob. All right. Anyway,
So is it older or younger? I feel like you're stalling, Patrick.
I'm gonna say it is younger. I bet you that came out.
Older. SpongeBob premiered May 1st, 1999.
Oh wow, by a
In
lot.
another millennium.
Damn. Okay. Okay.
I know. We got more. You've time to redeem yourself. How about the Department of Homeland Security?
Okay. That one's actually super easy. Thankfully, I'm not like one of those people on jaywalking, which is a reference I'm sure makes me sound old. That's from Jay Leno's show. But any of those people of like interview and they're like people are dumb. Like how many states are there? And they're like 27. AEIOU. And you're like, what the hell are you on? Yeah, Department of Homeland Security happened after 9/11. So there, we got our 9/11 reference in there in the long run. So yeah, it's definitely younger.
It's younger. Oh my gosh.
Taking your shoes off in the airport.
Younger than
Younger.
Ezequiel Tovar.
Not being able to bring a nail clipper on a plane. Younger. All of these things after 9/11. Okay.
Listen, we got a couple more. How about the world champion Arizona
on.
Diamondbacks?
Really?
Oh,
No, stop. No. What do you... Oh, okay, I see, right, because it's 2001. All right, I get it.
Yeah, you can't know. It's 2001.
Well, yeah, but we know the World Series is in October, though, Kale.
Okay.
But I did know. I mean, then again, that's another 9/11, tie-in. I think that was probably the first time the entire world was probably rooting for a New York team or rooting for the Yankees or rooting for an evil empire, because you go, all right, New York should be winning that World Series after 9/11, and yet Kurt Schilling and Randy Johnson said, sorry, but we're not just going to give that to you, and they end up winning it there. Luis Gonzalez,
Younger.
gets
See,
a hit off of Mariano Rivera.
Gave you a softball there.
I appreciate that.
Nice
Thank
little
you.
lob. How about Pop sensation Olivia Rodrigo. Is she younger or older than Ezequiel Tovar?
All right.
She's got a lot of songs on the radio.
All right, let's do the math. So Trevor's license came out in 2021. She would have gotten her license at 17. So therefore, you like that? No, I don't know. I was actually not being serious. I just want to
That's
see your
some
reaction.
solid logic, though. I
actually
really.
really
I was stopping. I was just waiting for one of you two to be like, just say something, just crack up laughing. But I wasn't being serious. Yeah, younger.
She is younger. She was born February 20th, 2003.
You like that? You like that, huh?
Yeah, that was good.
But you never know with the license, the age.
Yeah.
Although actually, I think that favored me because, 16, 17. It was 17 in my state growing up. I had to wait. Were you 17?
Well, I didn't get I think it's 16 in Pennsylvania, but I didn't get my license until I was 21 years old.
That's a segment for another day. Kale, how old
Yeah.
were you?
I was 16 when I got my license, like most people.
In this state.
Yeah, in Colorado, I should say.
Yeah. I mean, I got mine on my birthday when I was 17, but that was the law. So permit at 16. But here, you can only get your permit at like 15 and a half in Colorado.
I think
Or
it
is it
depends.
15?
I got my permit like right when I turned 15, but then I was 16 and a half when I got my license because I had bad grades. So I wasn't allowed to get
What?
my license
You got
until
in
I
trouble?
had good grades. Yeah.
Was that Department of Homeland Security who decided that or your parents?
That was my parents.
Oh, okay. All right, I wasn't sure. I thought maybe you were a passenger in a car and you brought a nail clipper and more than 6 ounces of liquid. All right, do we have any more?
Kale, do we have 2 more? We've got one more.
Do we have exactly 2 more?
How about the Cash Me Outside girl from the Dr. Phil show?
Danielle Bergioli? All right.
Bad Baby?
Yeah, Bahad Bahabi. Do we not know her name is Danielle Bergioli?
We do know.
Okay.
I think. That
Again,
sounds right.
Useless information there.
But yeah, I mean, she's been pretty famous for this incident for years. But is she
5
older
years at least,
or
right?
younger than Ezequiel Tovar? I'm glad this
right.
is the one we're ending on because it's so unhinged.
Kish me outside. How about that? All right. So that was at least 5 years ago. So 17, definitely younger.
She is younger. Yes, she was also born in 2003. And that's the game, Patrick. I think you did an okay job. These were pretty tricky, though.
I came back in the end, I think, a little bit. My double down on Boy Meets World, I think, really screwed me
It was
up.
really embarrassing. I was pretty embarrassed for you.
Oh, boy. Speaking of embarrassing, I'm going to hopefully be able to speak a little bit more eloquently tomorrow for Drew Goodman's show there. 11:30-ish, we'll do that. Then we'll be down at the ballpark. I think you're going to be elsewhere for the start of the game, I think, at least, right?
I'm going to be at Breck Brew.
And that wasn't
for
the thing
the
that we were
event.
teasing. That wasn't even what we were teasing. That's just an added bonus. There's
I'll be
even
there.
more than just you.
I will be there,
Showing
but
up.
I'm not the surprise guest. There is a huge
There's
surprise
like a
guest.
real, like lord of a guest that might be showing
Yeah.
up.
That's a good way to put it. A lord of a guest.
Lord of the
Just
Rings.
huge. Just huge.
Wow.
I'll drink to that.
Oh, interesting.
Very interesting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Friday's going to be fun. And also, I cannot say this enough. Friday night is the fireworks game at Coors Field.
They're waiting for Tovar's debut.
Oh, that now
All
it
right,
all makes sense.
Real quick,
Now it all makes
real
sense.
quick. Best ending to the game on Friday night. Kale, how would you script it?
A walk-off Tovar home run to lead us into the fireworks, obviously.
Okay, I was going to go around the room, but Kale, that is the right answer.
That we
There
can't
is
top
not
that.
a better answer.
We can't
I
top
love that, Kale. Kale is vibing on the Tovar.
He's vibing.
It's going to be Tovar Day, Firework Day on Friday. It's going to be fantastic. Get tickets over at Game Time. Super cheap, below face value. Can't beat that. You can't beat our coverage on Twitter at DNVR_Rockies. At Patrick D. Lyons is where I'm at on Twitter. And at Kale Sorbo is where super producer Kale Sorbo is at on Twitter.
Yes. And I am at the Susie Hunter on all platforms.
Hey, you know what they say about momentum?
What do
It's
they
only
say?
good as your next show. So I'll talk to you tomorrow.